Do you believe that accumulating information is the key to change? What if I told you the real power lies not in what you know, but in how you think? This paradox confuses many. While people chase tips and miracle formulas, they overlook the one force capable of reprogramming their entire destiny: mindset. Forget momentary motivation. With Stoic principles revisited for the 21st century, you'll learn techniques that silence limiting beliefs and activate success patterns. In just a few minutes, you'll have practical tools to gain immediate clarity and shape an unshakable new you. Get ready to break free from the need for approval, take absolute control of your choices, and live with genuine purpose. Type now in the comments, "Today I replanted my mind to win." One. Habits that strengthen the brain. Your brain works like an invisible conductor, directing every thought, emotion, and decision. And ironically, many people exhaust that conductor with bad habits. The mentor invites you to cultivate healthy social connections. Imagine an energizing chat at a cafe with friends who inspire and challenge your thinking. Those conversations don't just warm the heart. They trigger hormones that renew synapses and boost neuroplasticity. The Stoics always valued community. Surrounding yourself with virtuous allies strengthens not only the spirit but also your cortex. And if even your brain benefits from good gatherings, wait until you see how meditation enters the scene as a mental gym. To fuel this complex engine, nutrition is key. Colorful fruits, leafy greens, and omega-3 rich fish are top-tier fuel. Think of avocado as the lubricating oil for your brain cells, while berry antioxidants act like caretakers, clearing toxic debris. Sugars and ultra-processed fats are like sand in the gears, putting your brain into a chronic emergency mode. The Stoics preached moderation in all things. Following that maxim means eating well without parading a fitness influencer menu. And for the final upgrade, nothing replaces a good night's sleep. Now let's see how we hit the reset button with meditation. Moving your body is as essential as feeding your brain. A 30-minute walk or a light circuit of exercises increases blood flow, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every corner of the brain, like fueling a car for a winding road. The mentor recommends thinking of exercise as a software update. Each drop of sweat activates proteins that support new nerve cell growth. Without movement, the mind bogs down, like running in quicksand, slow, exhausting, and unproductive. But if these habits already give you incredible fuel, get ready to discover how meditation lets you reprogram your mind. 2. The importance of meditation. Meditation acts as an internal editor, allowing the learner to access the code of their thoughts and rewrite limiting beliefs. By slowing brain waves with mindfulness, you clear the mental noise that clashes with your clarity of purpose. In that intense silence, it's easier to spot automatic patterns and replace them with empowering affirmations. A practical example: use visualization in a meditative state to feel imminent success, like a musician mentally rehearsing every note before the concert. This initial reprogramming lays the foundation for a mind free from destructive conditioning. The mentor recommends short sessions, 10 to 15 minutes, first thing in the morning or before bed, to install the habit without overloading your schedule. Tools like breath focus or brief mantras serve as anchors to keep the mind aligned and alert. Research shows this practice reduces stress, strengthens the prefrontal cortex, and improves decision-making in tense situations. Each session works like a workout in the mental gym, where daily discipline builds resilience and focus. With consistency, the meditator turns silence into an ally, raising their self-control to new heights. To start, choose a quiet spot, sit with an erect spine, and direct your attention to the natural flow of your breath. When distractions arise, gently return your focus to the air going in and out, like a conductor guiding an internal orchestra. You can use guided meditation apps to structure the practice and reinforce commitment in the early days. Soon, insights emerge that reveal automatic triggers, allowing you to reprogram reactions before they take over. And with your mind finely tuned by meditation, you'll wonder, what impact will these new patterns have when we confront automatic behaviors? 3. Automatic behaviors. Most of our day runs on autopilot, like software repeating commands without review. It's estimated that 95% of what we do, think, and feel results from unconscious routines shaped by repetition. In that cycle, we wake up, check our phones, follow reactionary patterns, and end the day without questioning our choices. The Stoic learner must remember that living this way is to abandon conscious control of their own existence. It is precisely this lack of presence that exposes us to factors that can damage our brains. Spotting these automatisms requires mindfulness in small daily decisions. Marcus Aurelius warned that we are disturbed not by events themselves but by our opinions about them. Therefore, questioning every mechanical habit, your morning coffee run, or the impulse to interrupt someone, is an exercise in freedom. By breaking autopilot, you create cracks to choose rational responses instead of habitual reactions. But before diving into that internal mapping, we need to understand what truly threatens our mental health. To practice today, set aside 3 reflection pauses, with your first coffee, right after lunch, and before bed. Ask yourself, am I acting on impulse or intention? Jot brief notes in a journal or app. This evidence becomes the basis for breaking automatic behavior. With that mapping in hand, you'll be ready to recognize what harms the brain and guard your mind against internal and external forces. 4. Factors that damage the brain. The mentor points out that the brain is like a castle under constant attack from harmful habits and environments. He highlights physical injuries, falls, blows, and substance abuse, alcohol, drugs, as invaders that corrode internal structure. Even smoking and a sedentary lifestyle act quietly, reducing vital oxygen and nutrient flow. It's like running a smartphone without updates. Without care, it crashes and fails at critical moments. And after mapping these threats, the learner prepares to discover how thoughts themselves can heal. Next, the mentor warns that a poor diet, sugars and ultra-processed foods, acts like a virus inflaming synapses. Antioxidants, omega-3s, and colorful vegetables function as protective shields, nourishing and regenerating brain cells. Those who swapped fast food for a plate of salmon and greens felt sharper focus and vitality within a week. Stoic moderation in diet proves as essential as moral discipline. But even knowing these precautions, one wonders, can our thoughts act as guardians of the brain? Finally, the mentor reveals that negative thoughts are time bombs that trigger stress hormones. Chronic stress, he warns, disrupts the hippocampus, harming memory and decision-making. To neutralize this impact, he suggests simple practices: daily gratitude, mindful breathing, and brief meditation breaks. Caring for the mind, he concludes, is as vital as caring for the physical body on the Stoic path to self-mastery. Now, armed with this knowledge, the learner is ready to explore the magic of thoughts that heal the body. 5. Thoughts that heal the body. The mind-body connection shows that positive thoughts aren't mere comfort but stimuli for physical regeneration. Studies indicate that cultivating images of health releases endorphins and serotonin, counteracting harmful cortisol. These hormones protect the hippocampus and promote tissue repair, like a silent caretaker of your synapses. Marcus Aurelius taught that the body follows the orders of a disciplined mind. Caring for your thoughts is caring for your body. Healing happens when the mind stops being the enemy and becomes an ally in well-being. A practical exercise: upon waking, write down 3 reasons for gratitude, reinforcing neural pathways of resilience. Then visualize cells renewing themselves as if bathed in light. Create that scene in vivid detail. Focusing on the breath slows heart rate, synchronizing the body into a deep calm. Practitioners report more restorative sleep, stable mood, and greater stress resistance. With this foundation of self-confidence built by the mind, a new challenge arises: firmly believing in yourself. 6. Firmly believing in yourself. Self-confidence grows from acknowledging your own achievements, no matter how small. The mentor advises starting by listing 3 daily wins: a well-crafted email, a habit completed, or resisting procrastination, and recording each to reinforce capability. This exercise turns small steps into concrete proof of competence, solidifying internal belief. With this strong foundation, the desire to act independent of circumstances emerges. Letting go of external validation is another pillar. Chasing applause builds castles on sand. Instead, the Stoic learner cultivates self-compassion, internally affirming, "I am enough now, and my worth does not depend on others' opinions." Repeating that phrase with conviction eases the burden of judgment. This practice becomes powerful when woven into daily life, a silent reminder of self-affirmation. With this newfound faith, the next challenge is to persist even without motivation. The Stoic views failure as a deep learning opportunity, not an insurmountable obstacle. When you stumble, the mentor recommends noting the lesson learned and planning your next adjustment. See each error as a stepping stone that strengthens you and broadens self-perspective. This continuous learning stance reinforces self-confidence, paving the way for unwavering discipline. But how do you persevere when motivation fades? In the next topic, you'll discover the secret to acting even when you don't feel like it. 7. Acting even when you don't want to. The real gap between dreamers and achievers is the ability to act even without the will to. The mentor reminds us that motivation is like the wind. It blows strong at times and disappears the next. That's why he recommends adopting rational decision, an internal commitment that transcends fleeting emotions. By deciding deliberately, e.g., today I will meditate for 10 minutes before work, you break the inertia cycle. Once in motion, that initial push generates energy to keep going, strengthening self-discipline. Daily acts of quiet courage, rising at the first alarm or writing without waiting for inspiration, lay each brick in the discipline castle. Every time you act despite reluctance, you reinforce the belief, "I command my decisions, I am not a slave to emotions." This mental boost accumulates confidence for larger steps. The Stoic learner must recognize procrastination as the enemy of progress and fight it with immediate action. Once you master motion, the next challenge is refining your thoughts, neutralizing the negative and amplifying the positive. When rational decision-making becomes routine, your thinking also shifts. You start focusing on solutions instead of problems, on learning instead of pain. This alignment of action and mindset lays the groundwork to reprogram your inner dialogue. In the next topic, we'll explore how thoughts shape our brain and our actions. 8. The role of negative and positive thinking. Negative thoughts carve recurring paths in the brain, like a well-trod trail deepening with each step. When you repeat, "I can't," or "this will never work," you water a seed of doubt that grows and dominates your focus. That raises cortisol, the stress hormone, leaving you anxious and clouding mental clarity. Conversely, challenging these ideas, asking, "How can I turn this challenge into an opportunity?" begins the change process. Recognizing this power of choice, we're ready to move into the fertile ground of neuroplasticity. Cultivating positive thoughts isn't ignoring reality, but reprogramming your internal software to prioritize solutions. Replacing "this defeats me" with "what can I learn here?" activates neural pathways linked to resilience and optimism. This shift triggers a biochemical cascade of endorphins and serotonin, generating well-being and reinforcing belief in your own potential. It's like swapping a scratched record for a clear melody that tunes mind and body in harmony. With this foundation of positivity installed, we can explore how the brain reshapes itself through neuroplasticity. Transforming thought habits takes daily practice. At the first sign of self-pity, pause and repeat a simple mantra: "I am capable of learning and growing," 5 times aloud or mentally. Record each positive thought victory and revisit the list whenever negativity threatens a comeback. Over time, persistence makes new neural pathways as automatic as the old patterns. This readies you to leverage neuroplasticity in your favor, creating a more flexible, resilient brain. And now that we've seen thought power, let's discover how neuroplasticity lets us improve continuously. 9. Neuroplasticity and the capacity to improve. Neuroplasticity proves your brain is as flexible as your effort allows, able to form new connections at any age. Every time you learn a language, play an instrument, or solve a problem, you bridge neurons that never spoke before. This constant repair keeps your mind young and adaptable, like a muscle strengthening with each workout. The Stoic mentor reminds you, deliberate action is vital. Without mental exercise, synapses stiffen into old habits. And with your brain remodeled, you're driven to use this advantage right now. Incorporating continuous learning is as essential as keeping the body active. Daily reading, online courses, or debates with diverse thinkers are living philosophies of self-improvement. Physical exercise releases growth factors that nourish brain cells, promoting neurogenesis. An omega-3 and antioxidant-rich diet completes the process, providing raw materials for new connections. Armed with these practices, you're ready to act without hesitation. Change starts now. To activate your plasticity, set a small daily challenge. Learn 5 words in a new language or grasp one brief concept. Log your progress in a journal and celebrate how your cognitive repertoire expands. Each win proves you can improve. This habit not only strengthens your brain but also fuels confidence, showing that evolution is within reach. With neuroplasticity engaged, the final step is to trigger immediate change, the decision that turns dreams into reality. Get ready to discover how change begins now. No more delay, let's reach the grand finale. 10. Change begins now. Transformation waits for no crisis. It blossoms in the fertile soil of small daily decisions. The mentor reminds us every choice, however minor, sets the gears of change in motion, turning intentions into actions. Deciding, "Today I will meditate," or "I will note my victories," plants a seed of discipline that germinates in the present. This commitment to now breaks the cycle of postponement and reaffirms, you are the driving force of your own journey. And with that spark lit, the next step is to cement your new identity, creating a new you through repetition. 11. Create a new you through repetition. Repeating behaviors aligned with your ideal is like installing excellent software in your character. Each small yes to the desired action, writing for 5 minutes or completing a morning ritual, reinforces new neural connections. Over time, old self-sabotage paths are gradually replaced by routes of virtue and purpose. Imagine watering a seedling daily until it grows. That's how conscious repetition works in the garden of the mind. And after building this new you, you must uproot past beliefs to move forward unshackled. 12. Change requires unprogramming the past. To cultivate the new, first uproot limiting beliefs like weeds choking your garden. Thoughts such as, "I'm not capable," or "I always fail," are deep roots feeding fear. Stoicism teaches that by questioning and replacing these narratives, you free space for seeds of courage and confidence. It's a work of self-compassion. Acknowledge what was, extract the lesson, and let go of what hinders inner growth. Freed from those chains, you gain the power to actively design the future you envision. Next, you'll build it step by step. 13. Freedom lies in creating the future. True freedom emerges when you stop dwelling on the past and assume the role of architect of tomorrow. Every conscious thought and action becomes a brick in the structure of a destiny aligned with your deepest values. The Stoics teach, don't wait for circumstances, shape them. Deciding today who you will be dispels the fear of the unknown. Defining clear goals and acting in harmony with them turns dreams into reality and gives your life an unshakable sense of purpose. With that horizon drawn, it's essential to craft an environment that supports your continuous evolution. 14. Create an environment that favors brain health. Your surroundings mirror your mind. Chaos breeds confusion. Order inspires focus and tranquility. Surround yourself with mature, inspiring people, well-lit spaces, and a digital routine free of unnecessary noise. Organized environments and virtuous communities act like mental fitness, reinforcing healthy, purposeful habits. Eliminating distractions and focusing on essentials aligns with Stoic living, to live according to reason and nature. With this supportive setting, you'll be ready to resist trivial interruptions that steal your calm. The final stage awaits. 15. Don't let the small things steal your calm. The Stoic secret is discerning the essential from the trivial. Letting a minor comment shake your soul is a wasted distraction. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year? To filter out needless worries and guard your serenity. This discipline of mindfulness preserves your energy for truly important matters: health, virtue, and purpose. Saying no to the trivial is an act of power. Each time you ignore the noise, you reinforce inner peace. With calm restored, your future voice will ring louder and clearer, ready to leap into the final conclusion. Now it's your turn to turn all this into action. Pick the topic that resonated most with you and put it into practice today. Maybe you'll pause reflectively before speaking, cultivate morning gratitude, or challenge yourself to learn something new for 5 minutes. Every small decision reinforces a new neural pathway and strengthens your belief that you are the author of your own story. Focus on daily wins, record them, celebrate them, and watch how they build momentum for bigger changes. And remember, change is not a distant event, but a daily process that begins right now. Which habit will you embrace starting today? Share your answer in the comments to inspire others to step out of autopilot and live with purpose. Your story could spark a mental revolution in our community. If this video brought you value, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss upcoming Stoic practices. Share with anyone who needs to discover the power of their mind. Together, we build a tribe of sharp minds and steadfast hearts. Thank you for reaching the end and for taking responsibility for your own transformation. True freedom lies in creating the future you desire, one thought and one action at a time. See you in the next video to continue this journey of self-mastery and growth. Until then, stay curious, disciplined, and true to your purpose. Your evolution begins now. Make it happen.